Hey buddies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon and today I'm going to tell you about the logged plays games for April on the website Board Game Geek. This is the top 50 most logged plays according to people, including myself, who log those plays to give you a fair indication of those games which are most popular and are being played the most. Okay, so there have been 8 games which have dropped off the list. I'll talk to you then about halfway through this list. But by all means, please check out, and of course you can see what I've been logging on AmassGames there, and I'll be telling you about other games coming along. So starting off at number 50, we do have a game we've talked about before called Just One. It's the 8th highest new entry. It's come back on the list. I have a feeling that, again, it is a talking point. Please add your own comments. Party games are starting to come back now, particularly now the fact people can meet up. You can play it online, and whilst you can do that, I still feel that probably people are starting to play this in person. I'm noticing people are starting to do that. So it does actually have the least time spent per playing, so I have a feeling people are playing it maybe just the once, and I find more than one plays in one hit is a bit too much. Up next, a game that's now on Board Game Arena, I think in beta if not alpha, and that is a game from 2018, Railroad Inc. I'll tell you about halfway through this list as well where these games are. For example, 2020, how many games came out that year. I'll tell you now though, 2013 does not appear on this list whatsoever, and 6 games are on here from prior to that year, prior to 2011 in fact. Okay, so 7th highest new entry is this game, and again I think it's purely down to the BGA phenomena. A game I haven't played yet, Dune Imperium, looks very interesting, but it is the joint biggest faller, so I probably won't have a chance to by the time next month comes around. Of course, I'm recording it in the month of May 2021. Hit the like button as well. Please subscribe to make sure you catch next month's list. As well as every other video, there's a video plan every day until the next month as well. Also, please check out the other playlists. There's loads of other games going on there too, plus these top 10, top 50 lists as well. This game here, Great Western Trail, 2nd edition, joint biggest faller, least time spent per player. Hopefully nothing to do with the new box cover. So we have a deck building game here, Clank. It's not my favourite deck building game, but still fun nonetheless. More of a push luck kind of game, which deck building has already as it is. And it's the 3rd least time spent per player playing. And Point Salad, a game I'd love to play by AEG. It's gone down the list by 6, so it's kind of staying there, but 45 it could well fall off based on that trend. Up next, the game I've been playing a lot of, well, it's a cooperative game. There's now a cooperative playlist for the channel as well. Please check that out. But Codenames Duet, I am actually having the mare with, trying to win for the first time with Codenames Duet. But it's going very well, a lot of fun. But we're doing it alongside other games, which I'll talk to you about in a bit. Up next, we have a game which is the 6th highest new entry. This is Kubitos. A game I haven't tried out yet, also by AEG. It's a game that is on Board Game Arena, which I will be playing out very soon. And it's the only place for me discovering it. Also on Board Game Arena is Love Letter, the best game pretty much regarded by Sanjay Kanai, and it's the 2nd least time spent per playing. But of course, if you think about that party vibe, people might be playing in person, Instagram, etc. I'm still not seeing it much. This has an app. It's owned by the same company as Board Game Arena now, Azmodi, yet to appear on the website. As you might know, it's not my favourite version of the game. Okay, up next we have got My City. Just to let you know about Ticket Tried Europe, it is actually the joint 3rd highest riser, and I think that's because people are playing a lot, and I was going to actually put this light on because I had to reshoot this video. Okay, so up next we have My City, again another legacy game. There's another one on this list, spoiler alert, and it's the 3rd most time spent per player, so a lot of people are playing it a lot. Just out of beta on Board Game Arena, Beyond the Sun. People are liking this tech tree, the board game. That's pretty much all it is. It's fine. It sounds all right, but I may well be playing this later today. I mean, I've heard the 8.1 rating is a bit too high, I've heard, for it, and I like tech trees, so we'll have to see how it goes, but tech trees and space go very strongly with each other. 5th highest new entry. Now the 4th highest new entry is Q-Birds, a game that I have played on Board Game Arena. It's pretty much the only place I'm hearing about it. And pardon the pun, no tweeting I'm aware of. It's a fine game, it's an alright game, no need to basically play it again though. Isle of Cats, I have played this, finally actually played it in the month of April. And I actually learned how to play this, it takes about 90 minutes, but it'll definitely come down. That included setup and learning. And if you want to play this, you can play the Family Edition, which doesn't involve as much interaction. I'm keen to try that though and see how it goes. It's the 2nd least time spent per player. Now, Arkham Horror the card game. Now, it's the 3rd most time spent playing, and that is because I think when you're into this game, you're going to keep playing it. So, someone commented on the channel about the fact 6 Nimmt is very random. Yes, it's a party game, hence the 2 to 10 player count. Anything like that kind of implies it might well be a party game. And yes, 11 Nymph is a lot more strategic. Definitely not in those categories is Viticulture, and again, I highly recommend the Stonemaier game if you play it with Rhine Valley expansion. So Visitors to Rhine Valley, you must play, and then I'll be in on the game. Up next, Jaipur. So this game has dropped off by 3 positions. This game is on Board Game Arena as well. It flits between being premium and non. I think the second edition, though, has to be in premium. Calico is doing very well. It's the highest riser, so this might stick around a bit. Again, cat theme might do something to do with it. And yeah, one I haven't played yet. Might be off to actually a boat in the Birmingham for a bit of canal cruising. So this is Brass Birmingham, very highly rated game, highest non-legacy game on Board Game Geek currently. And yeah, lovely components by Roxley. Roots, now there's an app out, so maybe that's why this is also doing quite well. And also, I'm not sure if it's just Tabletop Simulator or something, but this isn't a game you're easily going to play in a pub currently under current conditions. So yeah, it's just staying around, but it's dropped down 5 positions. It's a Wonderful World. This has dropped down by 2 positions. Now there is Inspirational Kingdom coming out, and looks fantastic. Just a box of one of the best box I've ever seen, to be honest. More detail each time I look at it. Love to give it a go. That's Pretty Clever. That's the first game by Ganscher and Clever by Wolfgang Warsch, and it's a final roll and write, but it's definitely not my favourite, and I can only give it 6 out of 10. I think the scoring track, I don't know, much better games out there. Check out the playlist for what I have for you there. Scythe, loads of things out there for Scythe. It's dropped down by 4 positions, also by Stonemaier Games. And what I do recommend, it's almost like the James Cameron of the board game world, in my view, in some ways. So this obviously has a sort of automata mode, so maybe people are just wanting to play it solo, but there's loads of versions out. There's an app as well. And another one of his in at 26, way up the hot list, in at number 1, 2 or 3, depending which day you look at it. And this is the 3rd highest new riser. So as I mentioned, I'm going to talk to you about other games that have kind of dropped off. So Race for the Galaxy has dropped off at number 40, that's Thomas Lehrman. Parks, which is P-A-R-K-S capitalised, has dropped off, that was 27th. A few other games have dropped off. Stone Age has dropped off, which is on Board Game Arena. Another game is Can't Stop, which is massive on Board Game Arena. Canvas as well, that came and went, obviously the Kickstarter game, because you can't get it otherwise. Dominion, Lost Cities. Now Lost Cities is also very popular on Board Game Arena. And the game behind me, Architects of the West Kingdom, dropped off. That was at 45. I'm doing a video of all 3 games in the West Kingdom, and I'll be doing a video for hopefully for Architects as well in due course. So please check out that, and that is coming very soon. Video for Viscounts has just come out, and it's been well received by the designer or designers. Okay, so what actually, in terms of those other games on the lists, do we have in terms of years? So I've talked to you about 2020 had 8 new games on this list here, this top 50 list. In 2021 we have 2 games. I mentioned 2013's got nothing, 2012's got 1 game. 2014 has got 2 games, 2015 we have 3 games on the list, such as Codenames. 2016 we have 6, one we haven't spoken about yet. 2017 we've got 4 games, I know we haven't spoken about one of them yet either, because these are Spiel's Yards winning games, spoiler alert again there. 2018, 9 new games again, so let's see what we see next up. We have Rez Arcana, so this is Race for the Galaxy designer here. It's on Board Game Arena. I haven't tried it out on Board Game Arena yet though. I know it was in beta. I think it might have just come out of beta, but I haven't played it yet. 3rd biggest faller though, 2nd biggest fall amount of players. Board Game Arena effect surely. Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. Now this is a game that I'm hoping to play later on this year, very soon. Again, a newer version of Gloomhaven, which is a standalone. So we have Castles of Burgundy after Draftosaurus. So Draftosaurus is next, as you can see, and this is also on Board Game Arena. Not really seeing any pictures of people playing it in person though. 3rd biggest fall amount of players. This is going to keep slipping, I think. It lost 10 positions over last month. But as I said, Castles of Burgundy, the card game, I'll be doing a video for. And that is basically a streamlined version of this game. Very, very similar. It's faster to play, takes up even more board space though, and ideal as a 2. So yeah, very impressed. We've given both a 7 out of 10 presently, but that might well rise. And speaking of Gloomhaven, it's back here. Look, it's the 2nd most time spent per player. And then we have Spirit Island. Spirit Island talked about with somebody earlier today. And in at 19, there's no more news about this one. Patchwork has dropped another position. It's a fine game by Uwe Rosenberg, a bit too light. Whereas crunchy game here, Sigrada, similar to Patchwork, a bit puzzly, but by Adrian Adamescu. You can check out his game Rival Kings, I've got on the channel as well. And Daryl Andrews, I've got Artemis Project, these Canadian collaborators. Up next we have Nadivalia, which is on Board Game Arena. I know people are having it in person as well. It's the second highest new entry. I don't know how well it's going to stick around. I've got grips with it on Board Game Arena. I think it's a very good game. I just don't know how much I really want to play it other than just playing it on there. And even then, I think I'm done with it on there too presently. Cartographers, there is an app out for this. I haven't tried it out yet. Up 2 positions. Lovely game. It's okay solo, but one of my favourite flip and write games. In at number 3, I reckon, on my playlist. So check out that too. Up next, we have the second edition of Seven Wonders. You can tell because it says a 3 to 7 player count, not 2 to 7. And yeah, it's still sticking around, but it's dropped off by 3 positions. Still trying to play it as a 2. Marvel United. So this is a Kickstarter game by Eric Lang, and of course he's done loads of games, so I'm sure it'll be good. By Simon, loads of minis in this, and it's the highest new entry. So now we're on to King Domino. We talked about this in at 13. It's the 3rd least time spent per playing, and in fact it's also on Board Game Arena, which, as you might know, I don't like on there. Also, we have Welcome To. Now, I did play this on Board Game Arena and actually preferred it over the in-person version. Nice scribbly sound effects. I enjoyed playing it. Very close scoring. I think I won it 80 to 79. And yeah, it's enjoyable as it is, but it's definitely not my favourite flip and write or roll and write category of game. In at 11, we have Carcassonne. Now, Tikal, which I've been doing a video for, this game came out a year later and it has meeples. And in terms of that, I think it's nice to actually have that variety in there too. But in at 10, we have the game that should have won it in 2014, the 3rd biggest gaining players and the 3rd joint highest riser. This is because it's on Board Game Arena. Fantastic implementation, better than the app. It's really good, lovely sound effects, and it shows you how bad I am when I play everyone else around the world. Up next, Marvel Champions, the card game, and again another one I'm really keen to play. 2nd highest gain of players. It's the joint 3rd highest riser. It's the most time spent per player and also the most time per playing overall. And in terms of Quacks of Quidlenberg, that is our SPIEL.digital winning game again by Wolfgang Warsch, and it's hanging around. That background noise tells me it's my turn in Board Game Arena, which I wasn't sure if I left it on or not, but it's the biggest fall in the number of players for ever, Dell. This is a light worker placement game, which is why it kind of doesn't really do it for me, unfortunately. The Crew, it's the 2nd least, most time spent per player, and again that's all down to Board Game Arena probably because there's 50 levels on there, and like the regular game, very keen to keep playing that. And also Solar Storm is quite similar, but that's a derivative game of Pandemic, and I only give that a 6 out of 10. Seven Wonders Duel. Okay, so as you know, I prefer Seven Wonders regular slightly more because of the player count, the variability, and no change in rank, which is the same for Azul and at number 4, but a new entry in at 3, just come out of beta a couple of days ago, again recording it halfway through the month of May in 2021. Biggest gain in the amount of players and the 2nd highest riser. Okay, more to discover about that game in due course from me to give you my opinion on. Terraforming Mars in at number 2. Please subscribe, hit that notification bell, hit the like button, tell me what you think of this, and check out those descriptions and share, because in at number 1 we have Wingspan again. It has 3 more players more than last month. Again, no change of players. It's now been 28 months as the most played games. So how does that compare to other players? Well, it's got 3,716 unique users for last month, whereas Terraforming Mars is 2,866. It's massively different. It's a shame because Arnak was only 50 away from taking that number 2 spot. So any questions, please let me know. I look forward to telling you all about the May month in due course. Any questions again, please let me know. Speak to you again very soon. Bye for now.